this is Bobby with BC Designs, and I have my card I'm sharing with you this week. So this is a super cute card. I love the Honeybee bundle. This is one of the new ones that is in the new mini January to June catalog. This has 12 rubber mount stamps in it, and then you get 9 of the Honeybee Blooms dies. And I'm just going to move, I'm going to stamp my little flower on that. We'll stamp the bee on this piece of basic white. And then we're going to cut out the 2 little viney pieces of grass on, I believe that I used, I will have to check that because I switched it up a little bit. I believe I used Garden Green. I used the Hippo and Friends dies to die cut out my back label here with basic white, and then I also used the next size smaller to cut out that piece of vellum. And then I'm going to use my Just Jade markers because we did not have the old olives in the Stampin' blends, and I wanted to be able to color my flowers, and I felt like the Just Jade matched better than any of my other options that I had. And then I'm also using dark and light pale papaya. And then I'm also using the light and dark fresh freesia. I'm going to use some of these classic matte dots, the white ones, of course. And then I used the Heart and Home doilies. Now these you can flip over just like I did. Let me pull one out and I'll show you. You get the, I believe it's the Misty Moonlight. I'm not sure if they're listed on here. I'll have to look in the catalog. But I believe it's Misty Moonlight Cinnamon Cider, and I'm not sure if that's the basic gray. I think that's the basic gray is the color. Some of these colors are very, very similar in tone. Okay, and then, of course, you'll need your Stampin' blend. So all I did was I took one of the doilies. I took my Fresh Freesia ink. I just inked up my blending brush and changed the back because they're double-sided. One has the color on it and the other one is white. So you can change up your color if you want to. So that's, I already did that, and I cut my doily in half because you're only gonna see half of it anyway, so why waste a whole one, right? So I just cut that in half. I cut a piece of Fresh Freesia. I didn't even measure this, you guys. I just eyeballed it with my trimmer to fit my sentiment. It's just, I think it's just over a 1/2 inch thick. And then we're just going to snip the ends here in a minute. And then that one, I think, just got accidentally in the mix. So there's my 2 labels that I just told you I die cut out. And then my card base is thick basic white. And I'm going to show you, today I'm going to change it up just a little bit, just so you can have another option. So this is the strip of DSP that I put here. And then I used, let me flip this. This is the 12 by 12 Heart and Home Designer Series paper. Today when I put that down, I'm going to use the wood grain side just to see how that looks and if you like it. But I did use, let's kind of fold this down so you can see it a little bit better. So all the sheets are double-sided. And on the back side, it's all the like white and gray wood grain. And so the green, the solid green is what I used. I'm working on a card right now using this one. But this is the one I used. And as you can see, this is the background of the green that I used. And that's the background of that. So let's move this out of the way. And in case I forgot to mention, this strip is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, the super easy card, you guys. There's not anything complicated at all. So we're just going to take our little flower image. We're going to ink that up. I think my stamp pad needs to be re-inked. And I always keep forgetting to do that, kind of getting a lighter shade on some of the images, but it's okay. And then we're also going to ink up the bee. One of them, I have 2, and I always grab the one that needs to be re-inked versus the one that has more ink in it. Okay, and I did forget to mention at the beginning, I'm also going to use my white embossing powder and the white pigment ink to stamp the sentiment, and I did forget to mention that. Here's the part where I will speed up the video. I'm going to use my blends to color everything in. So I already told you what they were, so I will just go ahead and speed up the video here so that way you don't have to be bored as you watch me color. I am going to lay my card right there just so I can remember what I colored what, okay? So every time I switch, just know I'm starting out with my light and going over with the dark. So I always start with my light first, and then I like to go in with the dark to do my shading, okay? So here we go. Okay, guys, I accidentally started with my dark, so I'm just going to go over right through in here, and I'm going to use that color lifter to take off some of that color. Isn't that such a neat little hack, a neat little tool to have in your arsenal? Okay, now I'm going to go back in with my dark since I messed that up, and I'm just going to go over those already there darked images just like that, just kind of like dot, dot, dot. And I'm very sorry if you can hear my dog upstairs whining. We have a Yorkie that has all of a sudden over the last couple of weeks decided I am not like the other dogs. I do not have to be put up. I'm not ever supposed to be in my crate. So trust me, there's nothing wrong with him. He's not being punished. He's not being, he's not hurting or anything. Now I'm coloring the legs. I didn't color in this one, but I'm just coloring it in for this one just to see. I like to change it up to see what it would have looked like. But yeah, he's very spoiled, and he's come to the conclusion that he's better than everybody else and he should never be locked up. And he's just going to have to get over that. My husband gives in to him and I do not. I guess you could kind of say I'm the tough love mom. Okay, let's go ahead and die cut these out. And hopefully my little mini, I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me saying it, but it's kind of hard for me to line things up in the direction that I have to set in order for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So hopefully I can get these lined up somewhat good. If not, I can, if it goes south really bad, I'll just pause the video and redo it where you guys won't have to watch me recolor and stamp and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully that one worked. It's always the element of surprise when I go to lift these off if I did it or not. That's not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and keep that just for the sake of the video. But it could have been a bit better, I will say. But it's okay. It is okay. I'm going to try to line this up and then put it down. That's probably not going to work very well. So let's do it this way. It's just really hard because I'm setting kind of sideways from the way that the image is, for the way that I have to turn the die cutting machine for you guys to be able to see. So it just makes it a bit hard. Okay, that is about perfect if it doesn't move on me, I think. Hopefully, we're supposed to get freezing rain today, you guys. I hate freezing rain. I have lived in Indiana my whole life, and I will drive in any amount of snow versus the freezing rain any day of the week. And then my family, they are in Kentucky, and I don't know if you guys seen, it's my husband's side of the family. I don't know if you've seen that massive snowstorm they got, but they got hit really hard. There was a huge pile up on the interstate, and there was pictures all over Facebook showing them. Oh, my poor little doggy. He's very old. He's very, very old, and I think that he's just kind of doing it in his old age. I think he can't see as well anymore either. I've noticed sometimes when I open the door on the crate he walks into, or even going outside, I've talked to my husband about it. I said, you know, I don't think he's blind, but I do think he's struggling to see because sometimes he walks into the door, like the door will be open and he'll walk into the side of the wall thinking he's in the door, and he does the same thing getting in and out of the crate. He kind of sometimes will walk into the crate. It's so sad. They're such great companions, and it's just so sad to watch them. Our other little Yorkie that we used to have, she was diabetic and we had to give her insulin and things like that. And once we found out, like once we realized like something was wrong with her health, and we did take her to the vet and find out she was diabetic, I'm telling you, within probably, I want to say it was weeks, I really can't remember, but it might have been as long as a month, but she just went blind, like boom. Like once she was diagnosed, it was like that was all she wrote. It was very sad, you guys. Okay, let's start putting this one together. So I'll do the embossing here in a minute for our sentiment. We can go ahead and get everything layered on because there's not too much that has to be done once we get the sentiment embossed and put on there. So we'll do this. I'm not sure how this is going to look with the wood grain, to be honest with you, because with the fresh freesia on the sentiment, the sentiment strip and everything, it's not gonna blend as well as what it did, because, well, I still have the strip, I guess, of the DSP, so it might look okay. Now I'm starting to second guess myself. Can you see that? So I put my Stampin' seal right in the center, so that way my flower would cover that strip. And the Stampin' seal really blends in nicely with the vellum, so you really can't even see it either. And then, so let's go ahead and flip this over. And I'm just going to put a strip of Stampin' seal and then kind of make sure I don't have any of it right there showing. And then I just kind of held my flower image and kind of did one because I knew I wanted one up high and I wanted the back, the bottom, to be hidden behind the flower. So I just kind of held it in my hand and I wanted another one down lower. So I just kind of did something like that. Then I put some dimensionals on the back. Oops, that one didn't have adhesive right there. Let me put a little bit more adhesive right there at the bottom. That guy didn't have anything to hold on to. Okay, let's hold that up there again. Kind of do, there we go. And then I'm gonna just put my dimensionals wherever I have enough space there on the back. You could use minis, but I just went along the back, and where there was wide enough spaces, that's where I just chose to put the dimensionals. You don't need that many. 3 will be fine. Let's pop these on here. And then we'll just put this right in the center of that piece, just like that. Let's grab the doily. Let's grab our strip first and put that on there before we forget. So as you can see, this is just the flip side of this strip is what I'm putting on here. So we're just going to put that right there like that. And then we'll put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the doily. This one I lined up on the original. I lined up right at the edge, but this one I am going to move over a little bit because I wanted it to be a little bit more centered. It was a little bit more, this piece was a little bit more to the right than what I wanted it to be. So let's pop this piece up on dimensionals. I have been having trouble with my dimensionals, some of them. I think I have old packets maybe because I always add dimensionals and then I just put them away. I don't put them like oldest to newest. So I might have had these dimensionals for 6 years, who knows? Although it is in the, I think it was in the black actually. Okay, so where the packaging changed, you know what I mean? Okay, let's grab another dimensional for the back of the bee. And we'll put it right there. And then we'll put the bee right there. He's getting ready to go into that flower. Now let's go ahead. I am going to use my adhesive remover. This is no longer available, but I'm going to remove that because I don't know if you guys have seen, but a couple of times my cardstock keeps sticking right there where I put that on the back. My poor dog, he's just not going to give up. My husband will be home any minute and he will let him out, I guarantee you. Okay. Now I am going to use my embossing buddy just to try to help. And I'm using my mat because I had a little bit of an issue trying to just stamp it on my countertop and make sure I got a dark enough issue, or a dark enough layer of the white ink, and I can't see, so I hope I got that on there good. Oh, and I rocked a little bit, hopefully. Let's see if I can get that off there with my brush so it won't get any of the... I cut an extra piece. Let me use my diaper wipe I have right there. I cut an extra piece just in case that happened. If I have to restamp it, we'll see. But I think this one's going to be okay. Oh, did you see that adhesive held, or the powder held right there where I just wiped that off? I guess I should have dried that a little bit. But we'll just clean that up. It might still show through, but we'll see. We shall see. This out of the way. Just dry this. You have to be careful with your vellum. You can melt it and turn it brown. It's a little bit of a thinner paper, so you do want to be careful when you're heat setting it. Watch your fingers because this does get super hot. That's good right there. Okay, now other than my little faux pas there at the bottom that we're going to ignore from my diaper wipe. Oh, my fingernail is broke, you guys. That's why I'm having a hard time closing this. I'm really trying not to pull my whole fingernail off. Okay, I'll close that in a minute. This one right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it broke right there and it hurts. And I'm trying to be very, very cautious because if that breaks, you guys will probably hear me scream. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of line this up because I don't want this piece to be too much longer than this piece. So I'm just eyeballing it. As you can see, I didn't do anything fancy there at all. And then for this one, I just put just a tiny strip. All you need to hold that on. And then I offset it just a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay, and then let's bring the card back in and put some dimensionals on the back. Trying to peel that up without getting that paper on the back. Okay, and then we'll just put this right here at the bottom. And then we'll grab those cute little decorative dots. And I chose to use the smaller ones. You can use whichever ones you want. But I put 2 of the very, very tiny ones. I put them right beside each other. And this one, of course, is not the same as the other one, but I can still fit both of them right there. And then I put a little one down here. And then I just put 2 right beside each other. So right like that. I do like this piece. I didn't think that I would like that wood background as much as I do. But I do think I like that quite a bit. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you like the green background better, or do you like the wood background? I think I like the wood background better. Not gonna lie. Okay, guys, thanks for watching my video today. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you hit the bell, it will give you a notification every time I post a video. And I post them twice a week. And I do a YouTube live on Wednesdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.